CV, always put yourself in the position of the person who's reading it. And they don't usually have a lot of time. Give them what is really most important in the first paragraphs, right? So it's your education, it's how you're motivated. Don't talk about yourself in the third person. It's really awkward. And have a really clear layout. Don't have the writing too small, I'd say. And if you do put a picture in, it's not required. In Britain, very often people don't want it, but if you do, it has to be a professional picture. I receive pictures with boyfriends in their arm or girlfriends in their arm or a holiday picture or something like that. Obviously that looks very unprofessional. So for the interview, obviously that you'd think is the most obvious, but you have to come on time, come alone. You think that that's an odd position, but yeah, I've had people who show up with friends and then they say, oh, where can my friends stay? Or yeah, it's really odd. Obviously decently dressed, look at your shoes as well as everything else, and have prepared a set of questions that you want to ask the company, because that means that you have done actually research and you could show the company that you're interested in this. And for the question of where your weaknesses, don't say, I'm too much of a perfectionist, everybody says that. Really think about the weaknesses, because at the end of the day, if you apply for a job that is not your skill, you either need to learn it or it's not for you. Don't go for a job that really isn't for you. To look back into what happened in my company, I had, for example, a girl who asked for where the bathroom was, which is absolutely fine. She came out 5 minutes later, all fine. She had her hair nicely tied up. And during the interview, she started taking her very, very beautiful long hair down. That looks unprofessional, don't do that. You know, either you have it up or you have it down. She was in the bathroom before, so she could have easily done whatever she would have wanted to do, but you know, you're not Lorelei, you're not kind of undoing your hair, your makeup during the interview. And on top of that, she put her handbag next to her on the chair, and then the phone started ringing. And she then, in the middle of the interview, she took out the mobile phone, she looked at the address of the person. She put it back and she said, oh, it's not so important, I'll call them back later, I'll let it ring. And she actually let it ring. Obviously, turn off your phone, don't let it vibrate, turn it off. It's a complete no-no. I think from a director or a business owner point of view, or somebody who manages, the most impressive things in general, I'd say, are when people go the extra mile, when they really show you that they want to do the job, they want to work. You don't have to stay longer and do extra hours for doing the extra hours. That's not what counts. But if it really has to be done, if there is an emergency, don't moan, do it, because you learn something. If there is extra work to do, obviously within reason, but say yes to learning more, say yes to looking into something else, say yes to helping other people. And I think the other most crucial thing for me is under promise, overachieve, right? So you go out to a client and the client says the deadline is in 5 days, then try and deliver it in 4 days. And you know, if the client comes back to you and wants a little bit extra, you can give a little bit out of the ordinary, or you can suggest something in your industry, just that little bit that will make them smile, or that will make them say, wow, you thought this through, you put common sense into this. That is what will bring you forward. That is what people look for, and that is what your managers and your directors will look for.